This has been spring rolls from Num Nums with Nana.
Say to the camera,
Oh.
not to me.
Okay. So, hello, welcome to Num Nums with Nana. I'm Nana, and this is my kitchen. Today we're going to make Thai cold spring rolls, and they are going to be gluten-free. They're made with rice paper and with rice vermicelli noodles. Those are the only two starches that are in it. And you have to, if you want to make it gluten-free, you have to read what's in the product that you're using. These two only have rice flour and water, so that makes it very easy to do. Now there are several ingredients in the spring roll because they're wrapped up, and to be tasty they have to have quite a few chunky, chewy things in there, crispy vegetables and some proteins. So one of my proteins is shrimp. Now these are not huge shrimp, so if I had larger shrimp I would cut them in half this way, and so that you'd be able to use them throughout the roll. These ones are not, they're about medium size, so I will leave them like that. Now I have poached these myself in what's called a court bouillon, and all that is a fancy term for putting things that flavor the water. And I put in lemon, bay leaf, and a couple of peppercorns. And you don't boil them, you poach them, otherwise they'll get tough. This is tofu. It is made with sesame oil and soy sauce with some pepper, and then it's baked in the oven and it just comes out brown. Otherwise tofu doesn't have any flavor at all. The other protein that I'm using is egg. Now this egg has to be made into these omelets. All this is egg that has been beaten, and then you make them like a crepe, so they're very thin. You just use a 1/4 cup measure, and you put it into about an 8 or 9 inch pan, and you'll get these omelets. And then these are rolled up like this, cigars as they're called, and then you just cut them across, so you have these long strips. So this is my other protein. I was trying to think of something to be vegetarian as well as something for meat eaters. So this is what I came up with. And one of them, I think the one with tofu might even be vegan, but I'm not sure. I'm not a vegan, so. So anyway, I was thinking as I was getting prepared for this show about a story. My mother was a great cook. She wasn't a fancy cook. She cooked for my brother and myself. And I think food, you have to have a philosophy when you cook food for your family. And my philosophy is to cook for people I love and care for. And I do the best I can. And one of the last times, my mother went slowly blind over her life. She had some problems, and I'm not too sure what they were. But I can still remember the last meal she ever cooked for us. And she made it a beautiful meal. She made pierogies and other things. I can't remember what was in the meal. I just remember what she did. She set a beautiful table for us. We all sat down. She had wine glasses at the table. She used her best silverware and her best dishes and put this beautiful food in front of us. And we all sat down and ate. And I always looked at it as a gift from my mother. And I was always thankful for it. And my philosophy in cooking for my family is to do and give them the best that I have. Good dishes, good cutlery shouldn't be just for special, so-called special people. The special people in your life are your family and your friends and people that you love. And you should do the best you can for them. When I make a family dinner, I always put out my linen. I put out dishes. Everybody eats on a dish. I don't put out paper plates. I bought enough silverware to feed everyone in the family, so we all have the same silverware. I haul out my best serving dishes that I have. I put wine glasses around the table for my family, and I do this because I love them, and they're the ones that I want to please in my life. So that's part of my philosophy of food, is do the best you can for those you love. So enough of the preaching, on with this. So what have I got here? I've showed you how to do the eggs, I've explained the tofu, and I've explained the shrimp. This is grated carrots, and in the grated carrots are rice wine vinegar and some sugar and salt and pepper. This is just scallions that I've chopped. This is cucumber, and these are peppers. So just stuff to make crunchy. Now I put some cilantro out here. My family, it's questionable about cilantro. Some of them think it tastes like I'm putting soap in their dinner. So you have to be careful what you put and make sure that you do enough so that everybody gets something that they like. This is bean sprouts. Now these bean sprouts, according to my recipe, have to be blanched for a couple of seconds in boiling water and then taken out and put into ice water. And that's what I did. So they kind of look kind of limp, but they're still crunchy. This is vermicelli noodles. Now these things here can tend to be, as you can see, kind of goopy. But the thing is you're not going to put a big blob of them in there. You're going to pull it out and you're going to make it so it looks half decent. And it's kind of just fills it out. I'm not sure whether I'd like any of these if I had to put just this grouping of vegetables and proteins. So let's get on with doing the rice rolls. So first of all, you need some water. I've got this. Now I used to have a pie plate years ago that these things fit in, but someplace along the line I've lost it, so I don't know where it is. So I'm going to use that. You don't need to use anything fancy, you just use what you have. Oh, and the other thing I was going to tell you about are these wonderful things. Now I've got these vermicelli noodles, but these are a Japanese product. And I always love stuff from Japan because they're always done up so pretty. This one reminds me of little stacks of noodles that are wrapped up like little presents. They've got a little band on them and everything, and they're very nice, all uniformly cut, and they're made with buckwheat, and they taste very good in things like these rice rolls. The thing with these rice rolls and using rice paper is rice paper is extremely sticky, and it's also extremely wet when you put it in the water. So what I've found is if I put it in the water and then I put it in on this my tea towel here, that it works better. Now these things here are very fragile and they will rip quite easily, but they're also very gelatinous, so they also stick to everything. So now I don't know, I think I might have to warm the water up a little bit more because it's not quite coming together right. So just give me a few seconds here. I think I need hotter water here. So the temperature of the water, it should be cool enough so you can put your hands in, so it shouldn't be boiling, but it's got to be hot enough so you can feel these rice wraps soften up, because you have to roll these. So I've got a little tear in one, but I don't think it's going to matter. So what I'm just going to do is put stuff in it that I feel like putting in. So I think I'm going to put a bit of this vermicelli noodles. I'll probably take a little bit of that back. See, it's sticking quite well. Now, so you want to put some color in. So I'm going to put in some carrots, pardon me. And I'm going to put in some cucumbers. And I'm going to put in some of the scallions, because onions always make everything taste better in my books. And then we'll put in some bean sprouts. Now this one I think I will make with some shrimp. So I'm going to put 1, 2, I think I'll do 3 shrimp. Now, is there anything else I want to put in here? Well, maybe I'll put in a couple of cilantro leaves because they're pretty. And the thing is that what ends up on the outside is what'll show through the rice bundles. So anyway, let's see if I can roll these. They're always tricky. So you have to do it might take you a few rolls, but you can get it done. It's not that difficult. Everything just sort of sticks together. And there's your first roll. Not too bad. Whoops, that one's got a break in it, but that's okay. Thing is, never be scared. Always be brave. Do what you can, and then if it doesn't turn out, you'll learn the next time what you're going to do to make things look better and to what you like to taste in it. I always think you should do a recipe once the way it's written, And hopefully it's a good recipe. And then the next time you do it the way you like it. You make your adjustments. Okay, let's see. This one looks okay. It's ripped again. Nana's not having very much luck here with these wrappers, but we'll get it done yet. So then, see, it's quite wet. So what I do is I just kind of pat it dry. And then maybe this time, I always seem to start with the noodles. So then I'm just going to start with them again. I'm going to try to make this look so that there's some green on the outside and some of the orange shows through, so it looks pretty. And let's see, what do we put in here? I think I'm going to put in some of the peppers. Now these I've cut into what's called kind of matchstick. They're not perfect, but you know what? They're edible. And I'm going to put in some bean sprouts. Let's see, and I've got to put in some of these because they will make everything taste good. The other thing is if you like nuts, there's no reason why you can't chop some nuts and peanuts or any kind of nut you like. Cashews would be really nice. And put them in here. And now I'm going to put in some of this, some of the tofu. I tasted the tofu and actually it tasted quite nice. Not a tofu. I'm not an enthusiast. I'm not a vegetarian, but I definitely don't mind tofu. See this, how sticky this stuff is? It's sticking to the cloth, to my cloth here, but it also can be pulled a little bit. It's not as delicate as what it seems to be, or what you might think it is. And if you put it upside down, nobody will ever see where the ribs were. Oops, I lied. You can't see that one. But let's just keep working at it. See if we can get it done so that it looks half decent. One of my family will eat that. It won't go to waste, believe me. One thing about feeding your family is they'll eat what they like, and they won't eat what they don't like. So I was reading on this paper thing here too, that where it says that if you dampen your cloth, you dampen your tea towel, and you can put this thing on there, and it will loosen. It will become pliable like this. So let's see if I can get this one a bit better. Whoops, I'm really making a mess of it. Anyway, we'll see what happens here. Maybe the trick is to roll the broken parts towards the part that aren't broken, and then you can hide your mistakes. Okay, so let's try a bit of this. I'm going to do this end this time. And you have to try to pull it so that it's out quite a bit. So here we go. And this time I'm going to put some cucumber. And I'm going to put some onion. Put some carrot. And I think I'll put a little bit of bean sprouts. And I'm going to put the egg. So the egg's kind of neat looking. It's like that. And then I think I'm going to put a couple leaves of this on the top just to make it kind of look like dress it up a bit. Okay, let's see if I can do it this time without wrecking the whole thing. I'm not professing to be a professional chef by any means. I don't expect to be feeding anybody other than my family. And they like to eat, so I'm pretty lucky there. There. That one didn't turn out to be too bad. And if you put it like that, it shows up kind of pretty. So let's do another one here. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, I think all my sheets here broke. So these will make probably 12 to 14 good size tie wraps, and so you just keep on going until you've used up what you have, and if you have anything left over, you just keep on going until you're finished with using what you've got. Now these tie rolls are served with sauces. So anyway, I've made one sauce, and it's a very easy sauce. It's with hoisin. Hoisin, I think is probably the right way to pronounce it. Hoisin, peanut butter, and some water, and a little bit of sriracha. So it's a very tasty sauce, and it's also you can make it hot or you can make it not as hot. I have family members that love hot food, and I've got other family members they can hardly tolerate it. So you have to just make enough so that everybody's satisfied when you're feeding them. Okay, let's see. Let's put in some cucumbers. And these cucumbers are from a local garden. They've been, the reason they're not, I haven't left any of the green on them is because the green was quite thick, and I didn't think it would be very good with this. Bit too much crunch for me, so what I did was I peeled them and I cut them, and I made them a little less fibrous that way. And then you just keep going. And then you fold. This would be lots of fun for you to do with a little kid. I don't know how little, maybe 12. They're a little fiddly, and that's the only thing with them, is the wrapping business. But you just keep on going. And if you want, now these ones aren't, I got two of them, they're almost the same length. If you're really wanting to impress, you can always get out the ruler, and you can measure your rolls to make sure they're all the same length. Me, I don't bother. So, okay, I'll make one of each other kind here. And like I say, you just keep on, put in what you like. I mean, it's fun if you got somebody else will come and do it with you, and you can have all different kinds. You can have the same rolls and have really a lot of different variations. Okay, let's see this thing. See, it's quite, and the more you make, the easier it becomes, because you get a little bit better at doing it. Oh, look at this. This guy's folded over. Okay, some noodles. Oops, losing my noodles. Let's see, let's put some of this in. I like the red and the orange. The other thing you can use in here, which I particularly like, is those sugar snap peas, I think they're called. They're really good because they're crunchy and they're sweet. The only thing that you have to make sure that you do is you have to make sure that you cut the little string off that is on both sides, each side of the pea pod. Otherwise, that little string, it's like having a piece of floss in your teeth. I'm a bit of a recycling, locavore, crazy person. When you buy your food, buy local first, if you can get it. Now, all of us are lucky enough to live in an area where there's lots of gardens. The next is buy provincial, and the second is buy national, Canadian national, I mean. That way, you know, we can maybe stop some of the pollution, and help with our air quality, and also keep our own farmers in business and keep everybody able to buy our own products in Canada. I am Canadian and I'm very proud of it. And the other thing I was told was to smile. When I look at the cameras, to smile. I got critics, you know. And so anyway, so if I've smiled throughout this production here, and it looks like I'm sneering at you, I'm not actually, I'm trying to smile and engage you. So, okay, I think that's good. That looks like I got, I'm going to put a little bit of this on there. Some soap for my children. There. All right. So that's it for spring rolls. It's very easy. So you just do what you want with it. You can put any kind, that you could use basil in here. Fresh basil would be delicious. You can use any kind of onion you like. I mean, there's shallots. There's I wouldn't use leeks because leeks seem to be better when they're cooked. But you could use any kind of vegetable that you liked in there that can be eaten raw. And as long as it's crispy and fresh, go for it. You'll enjoy it. And it's easy to work with. These products are easily accessible in most local grocery stores. This has been Thai spring rolls from Num Nums with Nana. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen. Remember, cooking is easy. You just have to be brave. If you try this recipe, share your thoughts of it below. Remember to cook it according to what your taste and what your enjoyment is. If you want to see more cooking shows with Nana, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for post notes. Have a wonderful day. Hello. So we've completed all of our Thai spring rolls. We made about 24 of them, so that's quite a production there. And they're made with all different combinations of the ingredients that I gave you. So they're lots of fun to make. You don't need to stick to one thing and follow through. You can do whatever you want. Use your imagination. This is Becca. She helped me actually make the 24 spring rolls. Did a very good job. And she's going to taste them with me. We've got two sauces here. This is just a sweet Thai chili sauce. It just comes in a bottle. You can just buy it. And this is a hoisin peanut butter sauce that is very simple to make. It's got like 4 ingredients. You can thin this sauce out because I think it's a bit thick with just some water. So you just add a tablespoon of water at a time and mix it up thoroughly until you get it a consistency that you like. Okay, so let's try these wonderful creations out. I'm going to cut mine in half and then you can see what it's like inside. So mine's got tofu, egg, and some vegetables in it. So I'm going to try it with this sauce. See what it's like. Try one sauce and the other. Oh, that is quite, it's a little on the salty side.
Perfect. I'm not cutting mine. I'm going to eat it like a lady. That's a little aggressive.
Always a lady. Pretty good, eh?
I like it. Oh, I like it a lot.
I like it a
I
lot.
like it a lot.
It's very good.
I really like that. Next.
This sauce is easiest because just buys bottled.
Caitlin's like, can I put one down?
I think
She's so jealous right now. This is really good.
and it's easy too. It just takes a lot of chopping and prep, but it's easy to do once you get at it. See you next time.